His face went completely red. He slammed his fist on my kitchen table so hard the glasses rattled. You don't get to make that decision. I'm his grandfather. I crossed my arms. You lost that right 3 years ago. Let me explain how we got here. My dad was never around when I was growing up. He left when I was 7. Mom raised me alone while working 2 jobs. I saw him maybe twice a year if I was lucky. Birthday cards showed up late. Christmas gifts were always generic. He'd promised to call and never did. Then I got pregnant at 24. Suddenly my dad wanted back in. He showed up at my apartment with a teddy bear and tears in his eyes. I want to be there for my grandchild. I wasn't there for you, but I can be different now. Please give me a chance. I believed him. I wanted to believe him. The first few months were great. He came to doctor appointments. He helped set up the nursery. He held my hand in the delivery room when my son was born. I thought maybe people really could change. Then my son turned 6 months old. My dad started making comments. You're holding him wrong. You're feeding him too much. You shouldn't let him cry like that. Every visit became a lecture about everything I was doing wrong as a mother. I tried to brush it off. He's just trying to help, I told myself, but it got worse. He started showing up unannounced, walking into my apartment without knocking, criticizing my parenting in front of my friends, telling me I was going to ruin my son if I kept doing things my way. The breaking point came on my son's first birthday. I planned a small party, just family and a few close friends. I made a cake from scratch, decorated the whole apartment. I was so proud of everything. My dad walked in and looked around. This is it? He said it loud enough for everyone to hear. I threw you better parties when you were 1. I pulled him aside. Dad, please don't do this today. He rolled his eyes. I'm just saying you could have tried harder. This is my grandson's first birthday. It should be special. I felt my face burning. I worked on this for 2 weeks. Well, he shrugged. Maybe next year I should plan it. I didn't say anything. I just got through the party, smiled for pictures, cut the cake, watched my son smash frosting everywhere, tried to ignore the pit in my stomach. That night, after everyone left, I sat on my kitchen floor and cried. The next morning, I called my mom. She listened to everything. Then she said something that changed my perspective completely. He did the same thing to me. That's why I stopped letting him visit when you were little. I asked what she meant. He'd show up and criticize everything. The food I made, the clothes I put you in, how I decorated your room. Nothing was ever good enough. She paused. He wasn't absent because he didn't care. He was absent because I told him to stay away until he could respect my parenting. He never changed, I said quietly. No, she said. He never changed. I started setting boundaries. Told him he needed to call before coming over. Told him the criticism had to stop. Told him if he couldn't respect how I raised my son, he couldn't be part of our lives. He exploded. Called me ungrateful. Said I was keeping his grandson from him. Told everyone in the family I was being unreasonable. For 2 years, we barely spoke. Then last week, he showed up at my door. Said he missed his grandson. Said he wanted to make things right. I let him in because I'm stupid, and I wanted my son to have a grandfather. Within 10 minutes, he was criticizing my furniture. Within 20, he was telling me my son needed a haircut. Within 30, he was explaining how I should discipline him differently. I asked him to leave. That's when he slammed the table. That's when he told me he had a right to be in his grandson's life. That's when I finally said what I should have said years ago. You don't get a say. You never did. You walked out when I was 7, and now you want to walk back in and control everything. That's not how this works. He stood there with his mouth open. You want to be a grandfather? Be supportive. Be kind. Show up without an opinion about everything I do wrong. But you don't get to disappear for my entire childhood and then tell me how to raise my kid. He left without another word. My mom called me that night, said my dad had called her crying, said I was cruel, said I broke his heart. She asked if I regretted what I said. I told her no. I told her I wished I'd said it 3 years ago. My son is 4 now. He doesn't ask about grandpa. He doesn't miss the criticism. He doesn't miss the tension. And honestly, neither do I.